The mortal stain upon my forest is but do not think that I will suffer you.
Hello, I'm Lady Olane. What do I call you? I prefer names to titles. Sometimes we here at the House of Ballads can get a little caught up in the veneration. Of course, you're Sagril now, as it should be. Welcome. Famor was no friend to his kind even before he was cursed. It is good that Ferrara's lot in the telling is to end the fiend's days. He deserves it. It may seem silly to outsiders, but the Court of Enchantments has become very meaningful to the Fae of the Summer Court. Our songs live on despite the decline in magic. Mortals have kingdoms and tribes and nations. We Fae are connected to one another by a deeper understanding, a magic from which we've all been born. The Court of Summer is a circle of elders that, for lack of a better word, governs our kind. No one knows why it is happening. Not even Hallam the White. Yet every day we can feel it, like a shiver of coming autumn, a deadly frost on the morning air. I believe it is due to what the Tuatha have wrought with their flames of war. The world burns. None of us can escape the cleansing fire. I have not met one myself, but there is word that Tuatha have been glimpsed in the shadows of western Dalantarth. Our kind survives by the grace of nature, and there is nothing natural about the Tuatha. When the roots are poisoned, the fruit spoils on the vine. Call me Olane. The others will never call me anything but Lady Olane, Knight of the Golden Knot, Destroyer of Sreng, and Keeper of the Fenian Cycle. I won a seat in the House of Ballads many seasons ago. Back then I was lost, and I desired a new telling, one with meaning. Your kind might call it a purpose. He's an incredible creature, unique in every way. No other Fae hero has grasped the imagination of our people like he has. Welcome, Lady Sagril. May I congratulate you on your victory in Gorguath. I am Queen Belmaid, love of King Wenson and Grand Lady of the House of Ballads. The Fae of the East are not our enemies. We count them among our kind. At least we did. Times change. That is such a mortal thing to say. It is likely that you do not understand our need for continuity, our desire to repeat the past for the good of the coming future. What then is your drive to create a bloodline? There's no difference. The House of Ballads is our family tree. It is the sire we look to for wisdom. He represents all that is pure and just in the Summer Court. He is the vibrancy of life, what the Winter Court has always sought to darken with its decaying ways. This realm is at the mercy of cycles, of seasons, and the role of the Fae is no different. The telling is the ongoing story in which we all play an integral part. She is our nemesis. The villain we in the House of Ballads are destined to thwart through all the seasons of the telling. If there is trouble, the maid is at its origin. I do not speak of my exploits, unless to warn against the pride that engulfs all who celebrate the telling. We are symbols of a greater truth, not the truth itself. I am best known for my infiltration of the Maid of Windermere's kingdom beyond the hills. It was I who shattered her ambitions to topple the Summer Court. It is difficult to see from its current condition, but the Oratory was once the finest venue for performances of the Summer Court canon. The voices still linger. We regaled many a king under the Oratory's grand canopy. But those seasons have passed. Our time has passed.
When Hallam told me a mortal had taken the open seat, I did not believe him. But here you stand before me. Impressive. It is a pity about Sagril, a grand hero. But there's not time to raise the king's token in his honor. We need every hand carrying a sword for the coming battle. We've come to aid Sir Ferrara, our brother in the Court of Enchantments. It is time for his telling of the Ballad of Bloody Bones. Ferrara went in pursuit of his nemesis, for Bloody Bones has emerged, poised to abduct a maiden to be his mistress. So goes his song. You will need to revive Ferrara after the battle. I can only assume Hallam would not have sent you unprepared for this task. Go to Ferrara, and quickly. When the two of you finish, I will await you at the House of Ballads in the north. Do be careful, Sagril. Uduath is northwest, on the shores of Ettenmere. It is sealed by a powerful spell, but Bloody's magic is weak, and you should be able to gain entrance. It is a ballad of obsession and sacrifice, one of the summer's oldest. Bloody Bones was not always as a terror. No, he was once called Famor, a counselor to Isa himself. Sadly, he was driven by lust, and by his need to possess whatever he desired. Taking Lord Isa's lover, he fled with her to his hollow of Uduath. When the maiden was rescued, Isa cursed Famor. He could not die, and his soul would never enter the Great Cycle. He became an abomination, known only as Bloody Bones. Every few seasons, Bloody would emerge and steal away a maiden to make his bride. That is, until he took the beloved of Sir Ferrara. We are legendary champions of the telling, brought together for the purpose of ensuring Summer Court glory for seasons to come. Few know the truth of the House of Ballads, that we are not the actual heroes of myth. Those knights have gone, passing into the cycle, or moving on to nobler adventures. However, it is our wish for the great songs to endure. that seasons of Fae would sing them before the fires. True power is in returning to what matters. So the House of Ballads was established, and worthy warriors were found to act in the roles of Wenson, Bellmaid, and the others. To tell these tales is a great honor. Like all other Fae in the Western lands, I am a subject of the Court of Summer, our wise council of elders. They are responsible for the well-being of our kind. I do not speak of magic with a knowing tongue, but I do know that the persistence of Fae songs is eternally linked to the enchanted lore stones in which they exist. When mortals began to use magic to create, change, and even destroy their own lore stones, it was decided that the ballads of the Summer Court needed better protection. The cairns are a new kind of lore stone, Hallam's way of keeping outside influence from affecting our stories, from corrupting them as the days pass and seasons transpire. Few know the truth of the House of Ballads, that we are not the actual heroes of myth. Those knights have gone, passing into the cycle, or moving on to nobler adventures. However, it is our wish for the great songs to endure, that seasons of Fae would sing them before the fires. True power is in returning to what matters. So the House of Ballads was established, and worthy warriors were found to act in the roles of Wenson, Bellmaid, and the others. To tell these tales is a great honor. He is one who prefers action to discussion, a tempestuous firebrand who would rather pursue the mortal flesh than any other of life's mysteries. That is why his ballad is such a stirring one. Ferrara will always be the lovable rogue who finally chooses another over himself. Timeless is what it is. It is an amulet worn by all King Wensons in the telling. I wear it, as have all the kings who rose and fell at the mercy of the seasons. Only he who wears the king's token is worthy of walking in Wenson's stead, of singing the most important songs of the Summer Court. There is no need to kneel. Honestly, I wish I could do away with all this king nonsense altogether. The tragedy we face, it is not legend. It is real. It is now. Yes, I am the acting Wenson, but the true king has been gone for many seasons. I am the fifth such Fae to hold the title, and at times like this, I wish I did not. Good luck.
Is this Wenson's idea of humor? Well, you look hardy enough. Won't botch the tale of Bloody Bones too badly, I suppose. Still, I'm curious as to how Hallam expects you to bring me back from the edge of the Great Cycle. But that's his problem, not mine. Let me be truthful with you, Dustling. I've never seen Bloody Bones act so erratically. He cares nothing for the story, as if he craves a different outcome. Instead of spiriting away a young mortal maiden, he took an entire camp. Men, women, children. It's mad, and certainly not part of the tale. And I thought this ballad couldn't get any worse, considering my impending demise. Well, let's get this over with, shall we? The hunt goes on.
Run! Bloody Bones is near!
mortals have been here for days. Bloody makes his home in the vast hollow of Uduath. It was once his clan home. I'd suggest we separate, but this hollow is a bottomless pit when explored alone. May your gods be with you.
So the witch was right. Help has come from Sir Ferrara the Fair, who flounders in the puddles of Uduath. Such a champion should never lose his way, not in his own song. You, new knight, leave now, forsaking the last prisoners, and I will share with you my knowledge. How I came to change things. Stay, and you'll have nothing but corpses. They are safe, but while mortals have no cares, they also have no time. I can keep them here in Uduath for as long as I wish, until they are but dust. Oh, I don't know who she is. I don't care. What concerns me is power. The power to end this pitiful design. In every song, the summer champion triumphs. His enemy falls. How long has this been the way of the telling? This existence. It is not a life. It is not a death. It is a snare in which I have struggled for centuries. No more. That's true. My intent was never to do harm. All I want, all I have ever wanted was love. Not to be alone in my eternal grief. Fine. The prisoners are free to go. But you shall take their place. You shall be Bloody Bones' new desire. So the witch was right. You, new knight. They are safe. How long has this been? That's...
Well done, Sagril. You have proven yourself worthy of the name. Hallam's trust in you was not misguided. I don't know what to make of Bloody's tale, but it has the ring of truth to it. We must return to Wenson and tell him what we've learned here in Uduath. They are Almain, settlers from the west, searching for a place to plant their flag. Poor creatures. I've never seen such terrible luck. Camp just outside Uduath, right in Bloody Bones' warpath. Better they had cut their own throats. A kinder fate. I've always known my place has been among the heroes of the court. What other outcome could there be for one so deserving of adoration? You dustlings have a similar concept. I believe you call it death. But there is no elegance in your mortality, no poetry. Those of my kind perish, only to have their magic pass on into the great cycle, where it returns in kind, reborn into a world that welcomes such new beginnings. A close companion he was, a true brother in your mortal understanding of the word. I trusted him, I had to, as he played such a vital role in my most memorable song. Is there any other way to view the warrior who saves your life time and again? The Duke of the Cursed Fomorians, slayer of Pombero and protector of the Mabinogi. But you may call me brother. I have fought with the lords and ladies of the Court of Enchantments for 3 seasons. My skills with the blade and in the bed know no equal. Keep moving.
As always, I am at your service. Anything I...
The hero I am relieved to see you well. What is happening? First Sagrel, and now Bloody Bones. These are shocking developments. Listen, Hallam and I have been discussing what transpired in Uduath. You are needed for a very special quest, a song of your very own. You must travel to the home of Tenwa, also known as the Librarian. It is an important journey, not without its perils. I know little about the Librarian, only that she and Hallam have spent many seasons studying the ebbing tides of magic and how best to preserve our ballads. She is an odd creature, quite aloof and reclusive. From what I've heard, she enjoys the scholarly arts of men with all their brittle, ink-stained quirks. Do not rouse your mortal worry for Hallam. He has left the court seeking answers to our many questions. He will return in time. If someone is corrupting the songs of this great house, Hallam will find them. He is the storyteller, and he knows our ballads better than anyone. Go to Tenwa's cottage in Haxi. She will be waiting for you. Retrieve a ballad from her collection of fey cairns. It is called The Hero and the Maid. Bring it to me, and guard it with your life. Its worth cannot be measured. Her cottage stands in the gap between Yolvan and Haxi, southeast of here. It is an isolated spot, safe. The library is a collection of special lore stone called cairns, in which are kept the greatest of summer court ballads. As long as they are safe, so too are our songs. The library was not Lord Issa's idea, but the inspiration of Hallam the White. He created the cairns and cast the spell that protects them. The world is changing. Everyone knows it, even if some choose not to accept it. Even as summer court magic weakens, our library of lore will remain strong. Tenwa is expecting you.
Glynel, I assure you it's an ancient codex, just like in the tales.
Intriguing. And why would such a thing be revealed to a child of dust?
And here I was beginning to think that you'd never show up. This is Glynel, lore master of the House of Ballads. Give the codex over to him, and he may have your answers. Lore Master Glynel has devoted centuries to the study of lore and ancient Fey stories. The codex he found isn't just any lore stone. Just talk to him, and I'm sure he'll be able to shed some light on the issue. I'm a woman of many talents, and we're all taught that we must use our talents for the greatest good, right? The Codex of Fate is no simple lore stone. It's more subtle and complex than any mortal could comprehend. But a lore master of ballads may be able to interpret it. The Tuatha are a radical sect of Fae within the Winter Court. led by Gadflow and his insane rants about their new god. They've taken power and declared war on mortals. They use raw Prismia to enhance their power, and their devotion borders on madness. But the most terrifying thing to the Fae is simply the fact that their siblings have changed so completely. The Tuatha are... But the most terrifying thing to the Fae... You haven't been around much, have you? The Tuatha have been pressing west from their home in Alabastra. Right now, they're only threatening my people. But if we fall, the Tuatha will turn their eyes to the other mortal races. The Summer Court, or the Seelie Fae if you prefer, embody the growth and energy of nature, but they can still be as aloof and uncaring as a brutal summer day. The current High King of the Fae is Titarian, the wisest of the Summer Court. While Gadflow has undermined the Winter Court, he tries to keep their cycle in balance. Titarian isn't quite what you'd expect from the High King of Summer, but he hasn't got the arrogance of his cousins, or their cheer. Ever since Gadflow killed the High King of Winter and started the war, Titarian has become distant and melancholy, and blind to the dangers around him. The Winter Court, or the Unseelie, embrace the destruction and decay of nature. They aren't evil, but they aren't exactly the best of friends. Normally they share power peacefully with the Summer Court, but since the Tuatha have seized power, there is neither peace nor predictability. We are the charmed, the subtle, and the inspired. In happier days, we were the loftiest of the mortal races. We despise open war. But for decades, the Tuatha have been at war with us, pushing into our lands and forcing us to take up arms. For a long time, they were content to keep to their play of the Summer and Winter Courts. Now we fight Gadflow and the Tuatha for our very existence. A close friend once told me, strive to be whatever you want to be. Fate might be a lie, but if it isn't, then worrying about it won't change a thing. We've known for a long time that Prismia crystals allow us to store and focus magical power. The gnomes use it in their grander inventions, when they can get it. But we have no idea how Gadflow got a hold of so much of it. It makes his Tuatha the most dangerous army I've ever seen. Be on your way.
You must be Lady Shear's friend. She speaks very highly of you. An occasion rare enough to be worth recording in its own right. But let's see this codex. Oh, nothing. This is no mere law stone. The Codex of Destiny is distilled knowledge from the High King of the Fae, given to the first Fate Weavers. To have such knowledge in your hands is a tremendous gift, but why did it reveal itself to you? Nonsense. All children of dust have a story that is written before you see your first dawn. Now, I can only make out some parts, but this is odd. The Codex speaks of an exception, a void, an end to the endless. This is simply too much. The High King would never pawn such absurdity off as wisdom. I'm afraid I cannot. This simply cannot be the true Codex of Destiny. It must be nothing more than a very impressive forgery. It speaks of impossible things. Changes to fate, death of the immortals, and other heresies. To ascribe these lies to the High King would be treason. I would thank you to take your codex away from here. I will have no part in these lies. Is there a meaning to it? Only its author could tell you. He is an offense to our people. He upsets the natural order, and his war breaks the cycle. I will speak no more of him. Do not bother me with such foolishness again.
Lionel spends his life cherishing old stories, but show him something truly new, and he dismisses it. Tragic. First of all, we ignore this fool. Most Fae aren't comfortable with change, and you are certainly something new. I'm afraid that only one person will really be able to help us with the Codex. The High King himself. It will be difficult. His court is in the city of Issa. Very few mortals are permitted in its gardens. I do know one individual who can grant you permission to enter, but you'll have to meet him alone. Nerolim is more of a what than a who. You'll understand when you meet him. With any luck, he'll be more favorably disposed to you than he is to me. He's bound to be curious at least. You'll find him in Southeast Dalentar, at Caer Nerolim. Just head towards the giant tree and, well, you'll see. You'll have to meet him on your own. I'd accompany you, but Nerolim and I have our disagreements. That codex isn't just a complicated lore stone. It seems to tell a tale most Fae don't want to hear, and created by High King Tatarian himself, no less. Interesting. Good luck with Nerolim, and ignore anything.
As you take, so are you taken. Hold me in your love, and I hold you in my own. Borrow me, and I will borrow you. Of kind, a kind of kindness, and forever a chill to comfort the warm.
story of two valiant souls I bring. Of the lords named Aylmer and Creth I sing. Two hearts united against common foes. The thoughts in mind of one the other knows. Lord Creth, of Fey knights most stoic and grave. Lord Aylmer's knight hand and shadow, the brave. And genteel Aylmer, his equal in might, the dawn to Creth's dusk, the day to his night. Here's the tale of how they stopped a troll. The Maid of Windermere misled its soul.